Today I wish to respectfully address the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu. Sir, I am publicly addressing you today because we have received a series of reports that some INEC offices have technically refused to give many registered voters their permanent voters card, PVC. According to reports, INEC are either telling voters that the cards are not ready or giving them endless appointments as to when they should return to collect their cards. Whenever they return, the stories are usually the same. Sir, you have announced that 20 million voters' cards are yet to be collected. That number is huge. If you add the population of 9 states like Bayelsa, Nasarawa, Ebonyi, Taraba, Abia, Kwara, Yobe, Ekiti, and Enugu, it is less than 20 million. As a coalition, we have made several pleas to voters to collect their cards. All we receive as feedback is that INEC has been frustrating them from collecting their cards. They strongly believe that it is a systemic and intentional way of disenfranchising voters from the next general elections. To them, this is rigging before the election. This portends danger. Sir, as a matter of urgency, we wish to respectfully ask that you kindly address this issue as soon as possible. Time is running. We use this opportunity to ask our viewers to write their experiences about collecting their voters' cards under the comment section of this video. If you are among persons frustrated from collecting your cards, please write your comments and put them right under this video so that the chairman of INEC can see. Therefore, we ask the chairman to kindly read the comment section of this video. Sir, we also wish to ask that you open a non-stop hotline telephone number where Nigerians could send their complaints about this issue. The number should be toll-free so that people could call it without paying money. This number should be accompanied with an email address where such complaints could be sent. This contact could be widely published by your offices throughout Nigeria too. It is our expectation that such contacts should be operated by your trusted and patriotic staff, because we are aware that some telephone numbers and email addresses of some government offices are either not working or replies are not sent. On our part, we shall be calling the number and sending some emails there also so that we can verify the efficiency and reliability. We cannot have a successful election if voters are disenfranchised. You would have failed in your duty if voters are disenfranchised by your office. Sir, elections have been one of the most critical aspects of the life of our country, Nigeria. Elected and selected leaders determine our collective destiny as a people. You cannot afford to leave any stone unturned in the discharge of this crucial task. Your predecessor, Tahiru Jega, left an unblemished record in the face of intimidation and possible financial inducement. Nigerians will never forget him. When the history of elections are written in Nigeria, the name of Jega will brilliantly stand out. When the sitting president, Jonathan Goodluck, was losing the election in 2015, Nigerians will not forget how Jega shot Godswill Orubebe, a former minister of Niger Delta, who tried to cause commotion and disruption during the collation of the presidential results in 2015, when Orubebe perceived that Jonathan, his boss, was losing the election. So it is our prayer that God will give you the wisdom, strength, and courage to dutifully and sincerely discharge your duties in such a way that history will remember you for good. There is no greater professional test than this. We do not wish to doubt your credibility when some persons make insinuations that you will be a willing stooge in the hands of incumbent President Buhari. The election in Ekiti and Osun states were sad enough. Secondly, Secondly, we are very displeased that though you reported in June 2018 that 300 foreigners were apprehended for attempting to register and obtain our voters' cards, till date, none of them were taken to court. And the matter seemed to have been swept under the carpet by INEC. We at the European Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria, we are very determined and interested in those persons that tried to register. We use this opportunity to call on all other NGOs in Nigeria to join us in pursuing this matter vigorously. Where are the 300 foreigners arrested? Who are the sponsors of the 300? What happened thereafter? Were they relocated to other registration centers to collect voters' cards? These are questions we must find answers to, even as the United States of America continue to investigate the circumstances under which Russia meddled with their election. There are thousands of Nigerians awaiting trial for many years for offenses they did not commit. Yet we cannot find the 300 foreigners who were sponsored to undermine our elections. Thirdly, the issue of underage voters has been a thing of national shame and embarrassment to INEC. We have seen pictures and videos of underage voters in previous elections. These are mostly homeless, hungry, and out-of-school children who are part of the 13.2 million Nigerian children that have been abandoned by the government of the day. If there is a record you must leave behind, sir, one of them must be that all electoral officers must be strictly warned not to allow underage voters to be seen or allowed to vote during elections. Lastly, we also call on the Nigerian media to effectively and visually report elections, especially by publishing photos and videos of any polling station where underage voters are allowed to vote. Such media apparatus cannot be banned by government. Nigerians are also encouraged to use their video cameras to record the queues and final election results in their respective polling units. It is not illegal to do so. We have to record every video in every polling station. Record the queues. Let us see the type of people that are in the queue. Then record the final results that will be announced in your polling booth. It is very unfortunate that Nigerians have lost hope in the credibility of our security agencies in policing our elections, especially when they were seen shooting to scare and intimidate voters during the last Osun State election, and how soldiers allowed themselves to be used in rigging the Ekiti State election of 2014 in favor of Ayo Fayose. It is our hope that during your tenure, two things will happen in the election process of Nigeria. Firstly, that Nigerians in diaspora will be allowed to vote in the elections of 2023. It is a misnomer that despite the huge economic contribution of Nigerians in diaspora to the economy of our country, we have been disenfranchised from voting for so long, when diasporans in 28 other African countries enjoy the privilege of voting in their respective elections. We also hope that such future voting in diaspora should be done electronically in order to avoid ambassadors appointed by any sitting government from hijacking and rigging the election in order to please their masters. Secondly, it is our prayer that in your time, our current problematic voting methods will come to an end. We hope to see a digital election where, like electronic banking system, Nigerians could vote through their telephone SIM cards. Data from your voter's card could be electronically connected to your SIM card, just like the bank BVN. Such systems of voting, if well protected, will finally eradicate the tensions that come with our physical presence at polling stations. When that happens, the cost of conducting our elections will be drastically reduced. Issues of violence, thuggery, killing, ballot box snatching, vote buying and selling, delay in collecting results, and all other forms of disenfranchisement will finally come to an end, as there will be no physical contacts between persons. We hope that the process will commence immediately after the 2019 elections. Of course, we are aware that remote villages will still require the current forms of election. To our politicians, we know that some of you are very desperate and violent. Some of you are very devilish and diabolical. But we wish to leave you with the words of Indira Gandhi when he said, remember, winning or losing of the election is less important than strengthening the country. That is something you must know, even as you pursue office. For our voters, as we plan to wrestle power from the principalities and powers in the name of Nigerian politicians, as we struggle to stop the evil political ancestors of Nigerians that have refused to die, I want you to know this. Whether you stay at home or refuse to vote on election day, or whether you sell your vote for ritual and cost money on election day, one thing will always happen. The politician will become deaf when you complain of hunger and the lack of infrastructure. This is not the time for us to vote old cargoes. Enough of them. They have deceived us, they have lied, and they have failed. This is the time to usher in new politicians. That is why we are hoping that people like Omoyele Sowore will be our president come 2019. In the words of Todd Young, in each and every election, it is your rights, it is your freedom, it is your interests that are on the ballot. Dear Professor Yakubu, I have read one of your books titled Crisis and Conflict Management in Nigeria since 1981. In that book, you gave a full chapter to the imperative of peace. Sir, the ball is in your court for posterity to judge you and to judge you well forever, or for history to remember you or mock you with disdain if you fail in this test. But it is our prayer, our fervent prayer, that God will make you to succeed. Sir, stay well, stay strong, and remain patriotic. Thank you, and God bless.
Each booklet is 100.
This question is directly for you.
How many were you given for this unit? 100 for...
100 for councillor, 100 for children.
How many names are in the register? No, not 31. 300 and what? 300 and what?
312 names.
317. The other file or the other page.
Okay.
317. And you brought 100 ballot papers for 317 voters. Who gave you 100 ballot papers for 317 voters?
It's from the INEC, from the INEC.
And you accepted?
We didn't count it.
Why didn't you count before bringing them here?
They only give it to us
and asked you not to count?
Yes, and they take out something.
Are you sure they didn't ask you to count?
The law is that if materials are not complete, they should not be voting. Because the remaining materials are being thumb-printed somewhere. So no matter what the result you have here, those materials being thumb-printed will be added. You have 100 instead of 317. It means that no matter, even if PDP has 100 and APC has 0, you know, APC can go and thumb-print the remaining 217 that are not here and win.
It's true.
So that is why if materials are not complete, there cannot be election until you bring complete materials. So please, go back to your EO and bring complete materials, sir.
I write for Vanguard. I'm a Vanguard correspondent in Benue State. Recently, I wrote a report on the young girl who had her hand chopped off by herdsmen in Nasarawa State, who is now taking refuge at the Apadena IDP camp in Benue State. I did that report and it went viral. Mr. Frederick saw it and called that I should trace the young lady and talk to her to enable her narrate her story once more, to maybe generate assistance for her from her cousin. blow. Today I'm in a Bagana camp to join Tina, a 24-year-old victim of herdsmen attack in Nasarawa State, who is now residing at the Bagana camp in Benue State. Joy will tell her story better.
My name is Joy Taylor. My name is Joy Taylor. I be 24 years. I be Giza. I be Giza. Nasarawa State, Nigeria. I dey for ADP camp Abadu, Benue State. When I come, Fulani kill my people, burn my house, cut my hand, and then I don't know what I will do now. I be pregnant. I no born before. They call me cut my hand. I don't know what I will do. Then January they come for ADP camp Abago. They help me write for newspaper. Then Federal come. They see me. That is why they come. Then they give people. Then they give people when they will help me. Then now I get one hand. My people myself, I know they feel whole well. That is why they find people when they will help me. If the person will help me, I will stay happy to them. Thank you.